This next reader, dear old friend, another Southern soul and the half of my being. I'm a Southern Yankee. Mama was from Alabama. Clayton from Arkansas. I also believe you said Memphis, Tennessee at one point, correct?
Memphis.
He was born in Memphis. And I love his sensibility and his storytelling. Come on, Clayton.
Yeah.
You're going to have fun with this. Yes.
Good. Okay, a lot of these pieces are relatively new. I like to kind of keep in the general flow of where my creativity is at any specific time in my life. And all of these pieces probably had been written at least in the last month or two, mostly. And they extend way back in terms of where I pull ideas from. I think you mentioned when you were introducing yourself that a lot of times just a word or a phrase will pop into your head that expands itself for a while and then you get into it. And I do that a lot too. This first piece is called Saddle Play Ride. Elementary school superintendent with board members created class recess events for stimulation enjoyment. One stands out to this day. Our class at recess was told to go back to field of play behind school. We had no idea why or where this was going. Arriving, we recognized a trailer with minute wheels pull up, and to our amazement, several small ponies taken out and fitted with saddles, riding gear. Told we would be separately introduced to each of these beauties, say a few soft, kind words, and if we felt comfortable, touch and easily stroke their nose. Then each of us would be helped mounting, sharing with pony a ride around our playfield. We were told where they had come from. I had ridden one of these beauties at Overton Park a month or so ago. This next piece is entitled Anger to Die. Anger at times is what anger does. Mindset malfunction of happiness can explode into violence on oneself or another soul, undeserved. Depressive state of mind can travel oneself into that pitfall of uncontrollable rage. Early recognition of this lack of control horror story can introduce one to anger management that has been known to save lives, but not giving into therapy is dangerous sprint to avoid. Throatal screaming of voice, hitting objects through no physical control, grabbing a mental knife and stabbing with hurtful mind results, or speeding uncontrollably forward, ending violently with a kill or dismembering of body parts, giving no control totally for this brief, crazy psychological reality horror story. Luckily in our world, bits and pieces of anger are and can be controlled to some degree, but are never enough for a safe life. Commitment against anger is a necessity to live broadly for family and friends. This piece is entitled Future Ahead. Spring is finally here, summer around the corner near. Warmness outside to absorb, feel, and smile, bringing back years when I was a happy child. Life goes on from day to day, determined each to expand and stay. Poetry is my creative path to come and grow, never giving up when words develop slow. Happenings of life, this pandemic spreads fear. I tell myself this day healing is near. In our country, panic is not only with us. Around the world, recognition is a must. Physical assaults in Africa are agonizingly high. These murders and rapes will not go on the sly. President Biden has reached out a helping hand, hopefully accepted coming together for a strong stand. Our world is who we anxiously are. never to forget we are that shining star. This piece is entitled Opening Tomorrow. Seeing the open sky as days explode by, traveling these ways opens thoughts of love, filtering feelings as touching life's creativity broadens the erection of stimulation. Words bound forth, writing themselves into poetic forms. The harder it is, the better comes forth to be read and heard, allowing all of us to love this life deeper than ever before. Expansion of self follows these words as scribbling continues across pages of thoughtful directions, unleashed in the mind's eye to be absorbed and digested. Learning this expansion of heightened knowledge and its necessity for broadening humanity's capability of accepting differences takes us from where we are to a higher level these days ahead. This next piece is entitled Writing My World. A visual painter I have been for the past 60 some odd years, including writing verbally concerning the visual imagery of those ongoing years. I deeply feel similarities of expressing nature and life itself as my true motivation for living. Absorbing into mind and digesting imagery allows me to travel my creative journey into clouds unknown and gray, but break through to forward sunshine they do. Wandering into the imagery of past paintings often spurs emotional response dealing with verbal expressions of those times and places, feeling manual presence and emotions festered those years up to today. Writing from my world has been uplifting and has given me presence of life I love exploring and sharing. Trying to develop my craft further, I read poetic basics. This broadens my interests, allowing application and further expansion of craft. This everyday stimulation to write lets me feel the positive emotion of giving in this world of COVID-19. It is like talking with myself during this time of isolation. Living is a staple of being alive, but writing my mind's eye broadens that necessary continuation of living life to the fullest extent of creation. This next piece is entitled, My Friend to See. I have envisioned multiple visual stimulations this spring and coming summer. The one just seen yesterday was that of my woodchuck friend, who I see every year. This year he was late in arrival, and I thought possibly forever gone, at times envisioning being caught and killed. Each morning I looked through our back door window. This morning, here he had come, rummaging under our backyard fence, each year this doorway always open. Years back, I was sure he burrowed this ground doorway, opening himself to come visit and spend a sharing time. Even though impossible, I dream at times of having conversations. So far, speaking mentally to him is all I have. I have never heard a word from him, or even a grunted sound of speech. Here is hoping this summer we will be given the chance for introduction and possibly wrangle together in our backyard's friendly entity of happy space. This last piece is entitled Sex Trafficking. Thoughts of sex trafficking across our planet is horror personified. Not only of young adults, but of child ages as well, screaming of pain upon insertions. How can this sordid sex continue knowing the hurtful, heinous screams blasting forth from penetrated bodies not given the right to live a loving life of their young age of honesty and supposed freedom? Realizing monetary gain and sexual gratification rates higher than the beauty of those young years qualifies certainly as one of the most horrifying acts perpetrated on humanity's younger ages. For that matter, any age, including forceful prostitution, the living therein is horrendous to the fullest extent. If you girls don't play, you get no pay. Pay here means continued living. Otherwise, you die. There are no anesthetics for these actions of painful living other than alcohol and drugs. Excelling the word and action of punishment can have a lasting effect on further prevention when these actions are shown publicly. Bringing to justice is part of the answer when true justice is served. Sexual fulfillment is a natural desire found in humanity, but forceful thinking of self-gratification should not be tolerated as it is at times these days. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Clayton. Yeah, it's rather horrific. And what's most horrific is the dispensing of conscience by the John. I'll let you ruminate with that before I change the camera.